Law of vibration explained. So I'm not really going to go in detail of scientific explanation because it's very boring and I don't want to bore you. I want to just make you understand with at more simplicity. So let me give you a real scenario of from my life. So last weekend I went to my child's school for a function, and a lot of parents were lined up outside and they were about to open the door. So as you know, usually the parents have a race, when they get in, then who will get into the first row so that we are able to click the pictures and watch the function properly. And I am such a person who has like kind of slow reflex. So if someone throws a ball at me, I'm most likely to miss it. And I won't be able to catch it. I'm poor at catches, and I my tennis needs a lot of improvement. So, and I'm very slow. So I knew I had to be fast still when they opened the gates, and all the parents just marched in. And the best I could do was row number 4. I could get into row number 4 with my kind of reflex and everything, because people were going in the groups and one person would take the seats of so many other parents and all that. So that's fine. I was at row number 4 and I knew that that was my best. Now, since I'm also an NLP practitioner, I started applying my NLPs. I started noticing people who was alone, who was in the group, who could be good and easy to talk to. I went ahead, I did some rapport building, and I found a seat with a mother and I sat there. I could go up to seat number 2. And then I visualized, that I could have had friends here, and I visualized being on the seat number 1. Basically, it was a subconscious visualization because I now practice visualizations and I stay in the manifestation zone. You would know in the coming chapters what is manifestation zone or vibing high. So I vibe high and I keep on visualizing. So I visualized for a second that I'm with my friends and I'm at the front seat and watching this show. So that's all. But here I was using my NLPs. I was at the second row. All right. Now the program was about to start, and I tried to make pictures, to click pictures and create videos. So when I stood up, now just notice the sequence very carefully, how manifestations work. So I stood up and I started making a video. So teacher crossed me. She said, "You cannot do that." And she was very pretty stern about it. So I asked her, then, ma'am, what do I do? I need to click pictures of my son. And so I'm just testing that how the videos are coming from here. She said, you cannot stand here. It's for teachers. So I could have felt bad, but because I'm in manifestations, I immediately worked on the alternatives. Because when she's stern, then she's telling me that I need to figure out other options. So I requested her, or just asked her, ma'am, I have to anyways click pictures. May I go ahead and click it? On the side of the stage. She said, right, go ahead. So I went ahead and I was standing in front of the front row, and I requested the teachers. The front row was reserved for teachers, and I requested them that, ma'am, may I just stand here and make a video? She said fine. And I realized that she was the class teacher of my child, and she just started talking to me, and we had nice vibes, and I know her already. So she said, ma'am, why don't you sit down, and these teachers are on duty, and when they come back you can leave the seat for them. I said fine. I said, and I started watching the show. And then some other moms joined there. I recognized them. They were, I used to meet them at the bus stop a few years ago, and they started talking to me. And we sat there, and the show started. And other moms also came who spotted me from behind. That they were like, "How can you be so entitled that you're at the first row?" I said, I'm just here to click pictures. And then the show started, and the principal was late, and she called all these teachers for duty. So all the seats were vacant. None of them came there. And I watched the rest of the show with my friends who had come from behind, also talking to them. from the front seat. And that's how manifestations work. With your techniques, just mind manipulations, you can go up to seat number 2, which usually all of us do NLPs in our own ways. But when you do manifestations, you can be really at the front row with all what you wanted. So this is how a natural way that how it works. Now, if you look at the science behind it, and I've already talked about emotional frequency and your vibration. So if you're vibing low vibration emotions, then your manifestations won't work. So you really need to vibe high, and that is called manifestation zone, and you need to stay there. And then you have to tune your frequency to what you want. And we are going to just cover that as well in the coming chapters. And then you send the signals to the quantum world, as per Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's done a lot of research on it, and your manifestations arrive. Right. So I hope it's pretty clear with this example that how manifestations work and what you need to do. Now, see you at the next chapter, and let's make you a manifester.